Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is in correction mode, and even though I would have preferred to see a little more price action in this wave 3, maybe one more micro high, this is an acceptable third wave, and I'm now watching here for a potential wave 4 pullback. We're going to take a look at the micro count in a minute. But overall, the context on the daily chart has not changed at all. Below, the current key support that we have talked about is between 39,300 and $34,070 pretty much. So a sustained break below 34,060 or $34,070 will indicate that we are experiencing a deeper pullback, deeper than it would be ideal in this fourth wave. That opens the door to this B wave pullback. I just want to make sure that you understand that. Obviously, it makes sense to talk about that in more detail now that a pullback is unfolding. I'm not primarily watching for that B wave pullback yet. I just think that you need to be aware what could happen below. That was the microphone. What could happen below 34K? And that would be a B wave. We would count it as a B wave. Would it be bearish? No. But I would buy it aggressively, okay? I would be buying it more aggressively. Shouldn't say aggressive. It's like more serious accumulation again, because it is a bit of a gift, unless it really heads to new bear market lows, but even then I would treat it as a gift. Yeah, because for Bitcoin, I see it really as I see Bitcoin a little bit different than altcoins, Ether maybe as well, but Bitcoin for me is like a long-term portfolio asset. It's a bit like, look, if gold was going down to $1,000 or lower, I would treat it as a gift. So that's different from seeing it just as a short-term trading or swing trading opportunity. No, I see it really as a long-term opportunity, like most of you as well, and as trading opportunity, but also any deep pullbacks, would be used to add to my HODL and maybe core portfolios, just to highlight that. Therefore, for opportunities like that, I would always hold cash in my portfolio, never be completely invested, yeah? Because that's when I get nervous, when I don't have cash left and cannot act on opportunities. At the moment, this is just a small pullback that is still well within the limits of this wave 4 scenario. But if you're interested in how low could this B wave go, well, let's add here Fibonacci support, and that also tells you which levels I would still see as acceptable in this current bull market. So if the price goes below basically $19,000 down there, that is when I would think, okay, we head to new bear market lows. But we have to give it that space, because technically a B wave, if the move down is corrective here, shouldn't really break below the 78.6 Fib. Support starts at around 30K. So that's where we drop from a wave 4 into a potential B wave scenario. It's just that if we go below 34K, things are going to get much less certain on the chart. There is never certainties in the markets, but if we get a B wave pullback, or, well, that would first of all assume that this is an ABC structure, and that can lead to all sorts of different scenarios. It could lead to a new bear market low. It could lead to a larger triangle that's unfolding here. There are many options then. So it basically opens a can of worms of different scenarios, which, yeah, it's a whole array of possibilities. So ideally we stay above 34K, okay? I will of course look for alternatives. There should always be two scenarios, but nothing that's worth talking about now until we really break below 34K, okay? So they are still the scenarios, still primarily watching for higher prices, and 34K is support as communicated. Short term, basically that micro count I shared with you earlier today has not changed. I still see here a potential third wave in place, currently with a potential fourth wave pullback. That fourth wave pullback should be an ABC structure. And there are obviously a couple of possibilities. I could say the wave 4 is already in. I'm not leaning to that idea. I'm rather leaning to the idea that we are developing a more healthy wave 4 basically with a more pronounced B wave and a C wave. So A wave therefore probably completed. That would be my assumption. Then this B wave might be unfolding now in possibly another ABC structure, could do something like that, could develop quite a complex B wave. B waves are among the most difficult waves to forecast, but it could be this A, B, C, okay, and that could form our B wave. It's just sort of an idea, but in reality, don't treat these as predictive. That's just ideally how it would unfold. What you need to understand is this B wave could get close to the 2023 high again, could even slightly break it. That's what B waves can do. They can always overshoot before the C wave to the downside will start. That can take several weeks. I think we should at least, I'm not saying it will, but we should mentally prepare for that. It could be a sort of an end of the year correction now, as we had it in previous years where there's just not much going on, around the end of the year. But we'll see. At the moment, I'm slightly leaning to the idea that this is forming a clearer ABC structure as outlined on the chart, like A wave, B wave, C wave. There is a standard resistance area I can tell you and talk to you about here for waves B, well, generally for B waves, but it's just not, it's just not like a target, okay? So it's more like an ideal resistance or retracement zone for a B wave. That's currently here between 42,570 and 43,780. But it doesn't mean that above 43,780 we have a breakout. It's more like, okay, they are levels to watch in case we go higher. But I'll take that off again because B waves can easily overshoot, especially because the A wave down looks a bit like a three-wave structure. And that's then always just basically the risk, okay? Yeah, and I think that's sort of at the moment my main perspective. Also note that a healthy wave 4 is always, better, clearer. Even though I would say this is already okay. It's just not, it hasn't dropped into the yellow support area for that main wave 4 before a wave 5 then should unfold and take us to 50K. So, could this be the start of the 50K rally? Yes, but I'm not leaning towards it yet. I slightly prefer that BC structure. That's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.